At the bottom right, the Raid Zerg.
I am LosirA.
I'm LosirA. Bit sloppy last game.
2 points for him though. But also 2 points for SuperNova.
Yep.
And at the left, we have the blue Terran. Tearing it up.
Tearing it up.
OGS SuperNova.
OGS SuperNova. Tearing it up, indeed.
Very close score, 2-2.
Wonder how many cans of Coke are empty. Wonder how many he's drank so far. We may never find out. Thanks to Intel and G-Skill as well for sponsoring this great event, for supporting esports, making excellent matches like this one we're watching right now possible. Barracks going down for SuperNova. Now the players did spawn in, well, there really are no cross positions. This is a rotationally symmetrical map.
You love that word, don't you?
Rotationally symmetrical, I do. It's a fun phrase to say. Kind of like tubular. Tubular. That's a fun word to say. Carton as well is another fun word. LosirA going hatch first. Pretty confident that he can hold off whatever early aggression his Terran opponent throws at him. I think he's quite safe in assuming that.
That's pretty an obvious choice because of how big the map is.
Oh yeah.
He's going to go ahead and scout. SuperNova might actually be going for an expansion himself if he wants to.
He could. Wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of one-racks expand. Otherwise, the build we saw him do last game, doing that Hellion into expand, the reactored Hellion into expand, is of course very safe against Zerg as well, especially on bigger maps where you want to make sure you get that expansion. It's very important to get that up. Drone's chasing the SCV out of the base. He's not wanted there.
LosirA actually going ahead and scout to see that Terran doesn't have any fast expansion coming up. Not yet.
No Makaraxes.
I think he might actually go for one Rex expand.
It's certainly it's starting to look like that, although he did just get his gas, so
but
there he goes.
Building up arm, he's actually saving up money, not going for any other tech structure.
Yeah, one Rex expand with gas, he'll be getting that Reaper as well to do some scouting.
I think it's kind of common sense in this map as well because of how big the map is, plus the Zerg is going for fast expand. So knowing LosirA, he'll be droning up instead of getting an army.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot that SuperNova really needs to worry about early in the game against LosirA. And you were absolutely right. There's the command center. We see it on the production queue there. SCV about to die a fiery death. There he goes.
How are you liking the new maps?
I love the new maps, especially this one. I love playing on them. I love casting them. I think a bigger map really gives us a better sense of who the better player is, too. It really does.
Well, Reaper doing quite a bit of damage on the Zerglings there. Of course, they don't have speed at the moment. Gonna come in and get a full scout and thus see that there are drones in
drone. How great is the Reaper's job? He gets to fly around on a jetpack and shoot double pistols at things.
I know.
I'd feel so cool doing that.
I think if you're a Terran unit, you would love to be a Reaper, right?
Yeah, it'd be a ton of fun. Well, maybe a Reaper pre the nerf. Otherwise, maybe a Reaper's just kind of take a long time to wake up in the morning. That's a lot like me, I guess. Bears some similarities with the Reaper there. I don't know if they bob their heads quite as much, but can't see inside that helmet. It's a little bit tough. But the Reaper really actually harassing quite a bit of that natural expansion. LosirA doesn't quite have the speedlings at the base right now to handle that.
Just getting speed at the moment, and this Reaper actually doing much more damage as he should be.
Throwing grenades now. How cool are Reapers?
Very, very cool.
I like them. I just got a Zerg player to say Reapers are cool. How about that? Ha!
No!
I punked Kelly.
Punch.
Oh,
punch!
Hitting me. Ow!
I'm hurting.
All right, so
Blue Flame's coming up.
Blue Flame is coming up. That's a good idea to do on this map, I would say. A lot of barracks too, walling off with 3 barracks as well. So,
you do see, that the Reaper actually getting a lot of damage on any Zerglings that are out on the field at the moment. Roach Roar being dropped by LosirA.
Reaper, how many kills is he up to? I can't really tell on. Let me click on him.
You can't tell on my small screen.
That's right. The Reaper is up to 6 kills. He is a Corporal Reaper right now. And so what we're going to see from OGS SuperNova is we're going to see those Hellions go out with the Blue Flame, try to kill some drones, follow it up by a nice stim tank timing push, which is probably, I would say, one of the most, if not the most stable sort of game strategies to follow as a Terran player against Zerg on this map. And here come the Hellions. Are they going to be able to do any damage? I don't know. That Spinecrawler's in a great position right now. And the
LosirA
queen
actually,
as well.
LosirA actually pulling some drones off to deal with the Blue Flame Hellions, and the Hellions not doing as much damage as they could once again.
Not really. No, LosirA handled those Blue Flame Hellions extremely well. Pulling drones, keeping the queen kind of between the spine crawler and the drones.
Kind of the point of getting Hellions as well is to get LosirA to stop droning up, but LosirA is not stopping. All he did was meet 4 roaches.
You can't stop LosirA from droning. He's at 38 right now to the 29 of SuperNova.
I just am amazed by him, by how confident he is when he is droning.
He's a drone king. Drone king, that's what we should name him. Drone King Prime.
Yeah.
He's gonna be back next season. He's got a pretty cool name. Not like he named himself I'm July or something like that. Now he has to change it because July is actually coming over from StarCraft 1.
Maybe I'm Drone King is pretty cool.
I'm Drone King?
Yeah.
I think that's great. We should ask him after the match. If he wins, I'm going to ask him. I'm going to say, LosirA, can you change your name to Drone King? And he's probably just going to smile at me.
Because he probably doesn't understand what you're
That
saying.
big LosirA smile. Yeah, that's probably why. I don't know how to say Drone King in Korean. Got a couple roaches moving across the field. They're going to do some Hellion hunting. See a couple right there taking that Zelnaga tower as well. And here comes the beginnings of that timing push that's going to be coming from OGS SuperNova. He's also getting the +1 weapon attack. Oh, the Hellion's actually caught a little bit off guard there.
Well, for all Zerg players out there, I know Tasteless isn't here to take care of you, but please, let me take care of you today. If you actually have enough speed links, that will be enough to stop Blue Flame Hellions harass. You just need a lot of it to get us around. You do see this Marine and Siege push. What you need is actually, if you do not actually have Spire yet, what you need is a lot of baitings and
Comes LosirA catching those tanks before they siege.
Yep.
Textbook LosirA doing the flanking counterattack here. Here come the Banelings. They catch the Marines, and this attack by OGS SuperNova. We've seen it all day. LosirA showing again why he is the complete Zerg.
Well, SuperNova kind of threw it away in that push because he wasn't that prepared. He should have scanned ahead, seen that LosirA army was in an aggressive position instead of turtling in his base like he wished it to happen. But no, LosirA was actually more than prepared for that push.
Yeah, it's all about that siege timing. I mean, he didn't have it right, therefore didn't work out for him. Not saying that LosirA didn't have enough to handle it either way, but he would have lost a lot more units.
LosirA going for that expansion right now that is safe. 6 minerals, 1 gas expansion. But it's close to you, I guess. Great timing for an expansion because he knows that SuperNova is not going to come anytime soon because he just lost his attack. But it looks like SuperNova himself is expanding.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to take a third. I do a little bit question that decision, especially because he knows the sort of map control his opponent has. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher to hold that. But you kind of have to try to keep up with Zerg. If you don't, you're basically just going to be overrun. So that's kind of what he's worried about. We see LosirA with so many drones. He's got so many resources. He's getting that macro hatch in as natural. Taking his third as well. The Spire is on the way for LosirA. Roach speed on the way as well.
You know what SuperNova doesn't do that a lot of Terrans love to do?
What's that?
Drops.
Yeah, you're right. We saw him try it a little bit earlier, but he tried it so late that the mutas were already out on the field, and it just didn't work really well. But
LosirA being very interesting at the moment. He's going for road speed, which is not common to see in a ZBT match. But it seems like he thinks that Roach is gonna be a good counter to the mech army that the Terran kind of has, which is a siege tank.
I think it could do okay. Now SuperNova is moving out, but more or less just defensively. I don't think he's going to really try to push at this point. He might go out to take a little bit of map control, but I don't think we're going to see him stray too far from his base. I think that would be pretty dangerous right now.
Well,
but
LosirA
here
is
comes
actually
LosirA.
moving out. Not sure whether the army is big enough to take down SuperNova's army at the moment.
Good amount of Banelings. I don't know if it is either, but we're about to find out, I think. Getting in position with the Banelings.
SuperNova knows something is up. He actually already siege up. Gonna come in. Here comes the Banelings.
Not the best angle for LosirA. Those 2 siege tanks are going to be taken out, but there's more siege tanks defending. So LosirA forced to fall back. And meantime, there's a drop. As soon as we said he wasn't dropping, there is a drop. Doing a little bit of damage before being lifted up. But I'm a little bit surprised at that attack from LosirA. The angle wasn't terribly good. He didn't really cause a lot of damage. SuperNova looking for another place to drop. He's going to need to be careful. He doesn't want his medevac to take too much damage. Dropping again at the main base of LosirA. Taking out a couple of drones. Here comes the Banelings and immediately the Marines hopping back up into the medevac.
Another attack coming in from SuperNova at the front. LosirA is actually being contained under expansion right now. He has to try to do something with his army. Looking at the army tab, he doesn't have a big enough army right now. He needs to catch SuperNova out of position. LosirA is actually way out of position. Comes in with his Banelings and Roaches. Marines doing so much damage to the army of LosirA at the moment. There are 2 medivacs on the field. Plus SuperNova's army already took out so many drones in LosirA's expansion.
Yeah, with Stim on the way, those Roaches just were not enough. More Marines being elevated into the natural of LosirA. All mining has been stopped there. And now, here come the Marines. LosirA trying to respond with some Roaches and a few Speedlings, but I don't think it's going to be enough. SuperNova takes game 5. SuperNova pulling ahead in this Code A Finals. Nodding to himself. He's feeling pretty good. Crack the knuckles, that's right. Use that hot pack. Those hot packs are awesome. And I think LosirA's going to need some coke. Needs a little bit of a sugar high to get back into it.
Well, this is kind of a surprise because LosirA really played his best before the break. But after the break, he actually lost one of his games and then lost the next one immediately, even though he was up on economy. And he lost purely because he didn't make enough Banelings. Yeah,
LosirA looking so convincing in those first 2 games, but showing that despite being easily the best Zerg to come into Code A, that OGS SuperNova is just as equally worthy to be in these finals. And he certainly could take this too.
This is actually game point for SuperNova at the moment. So LosirA seems to be playing very weird. I would say he even seemed nervous.
He does seem nervous. That's actually the first I've really seen him be nervous this season. And I don't know, it seems like it's kind of affecting him. The mouse bungee maybe a little bit too tight. I don't know.
Giving his coach a smile, trying to reassure his coach because he'll
be fine.
I mean, we can all see that he doesn't seem to be playing his best.
No, these last 2 games he certainly wasn't. But before we go any further, thank you to Intel and G-Skill for sponsoring the GSL. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting esports. Thank you at home for tuning in and watching. Thank you to anyone who bought the season pass to go check out the VODs. Wow, that actually that July versus Nada series, that totally worth the price of admission right there. Easily.
Well, the coach doesn't look very happy at the moment. I think he kind of is feeling that LosirA is not, in his prime. So, I mean, he has to come back in this one. And the point is 3-2 to SuperNova at the moment. And it's game point for SuperNova. LosirA needs to win this to stay in the game and get a draw at least.
That's right.
To go into game 7.
And just to go back,
we're going to be on Terminus.
Terminus Reeve, easily one of the best maps in GSL right now. My personal favorite map is Terminus Reeve.
Really?
Yeah, I really like that you can just kind of have 3 bases. It's really not that hard to take them and defend against them. You can have a nice big macro game, big armies moving around the field. That's what I like to see in StarCraft 2 in my own games and what I like to cast as well. So hopefully we'll see something like that this game. We're going to find out. The game's going to start pretty soon, I would say.
Very worried right now, but it looks like, we are going to start the game very soon.
That's right. The countdown has begun. In seconds, we are going to see if OGS SuperNova can win Code A this season or if LosirA can stay alive and force it to an ace match. We will find out. The loading screen is commencing. We'll see who wins the loading battle. Well, they're both pretty even. I think I'm winning the loading battle. No, they beat me.
Well,
I'll have to practice. Oh,
Terminus, big map. It's going to be a good game if they both macro up.
That's right. And the game is starting. Let's find out what happens.